Okay, we're back. It's been like 2 weeks because girl needed a mental health break.
Oh, that's a mood.
So let's load up,
Oh yeah, that's what happened.
and we're on chapter 4, day 17. Yeah. All right. So I'll start off. Well, before we get started, how have you been? It's been a while.
It's been a couple of weeks myself,
Oof.
but yeah, I won't go far too much into it.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
it's it's been rough.
I feel that. Hi,
Yeah.
Naders. All right. So the end of October arrives with a brisk morning chill. I take my time waking up, enjoying the comfortable warmth of my bed like always. Outside my window, the leaves and branches shake with the breeze. They can't reach me in here. From downstairs, the warm smell of coffee wafts up, promising me refreshment and an energy. Something else drips up too. Something even better. The comfortable sound of Aspen and Juliet chatting in the dining room. How long has it been? At least. The past few times that Aspen has been here for breakfast, she's been too preoccupied to really have a good time. But even from up here, I can hear the sound of her laughter like a bell. Smiling, I get myself up and ready for the day. I hope October will take our worries with it as well. I head downstairs and we go through the usual smiles and greetings, plus the usual chit-chat as we eat. Eventually we clear away our plates and just sit comfortably together like we used to.
So, Miho, today will be your first holiday, correct?
Yep. The first one I've paid attention to at least. I don't really know what Halloween is about though.
It depends, really. In some parts of the world, it's a time to honor the dead. In many others, it's simply a time to celebrate the season and have fun.
Most of the time it's about sweets and costumes. I'm sure there'll be plenty of trick-or-treaters coming by tonight.
What's that?
It's where kids put on costumes and go door to door. And the people who live there
And
hand out
adults.
candy.
True.
Putting on costumes as well. It's not just the kids.
For free?
Don't get any ideas.
Just like, don't get any ideas, it's still there.
Oh,
Doing.
you know what though? I went to like one of the like family-friendly scare attractions at Alton Towers with my partners, where we physically went trick-or-treating, and I think most of the groups are like adults, like with the children, but it was just free, just full-grown adults.
I don't remember
It
the
was so fun.
last time I did like a Halloween event would have been, I guess, 2 houses ago.
Yeah.
Like the first town I moved out to, just because it was an apartment complex. So like, just the whole complex was just part of the trick or treat route.
Yeah.
It's-
My mom never really let me went trick-or-treating as a kid, so I only went trick-or-treating twice.
it's not bad. It's just a matter of, especially here in America, you got to know where the good stuff is. Like who's gonna have
Yeah.
the king size bars.
Hmm. Yeah, like I know that it's pretty big over in America, and over here, like it's big, but they don't go all out
Mm-mm-mm.
like America.
Listen, America goes a little too hard on holidays for some reason, and I don't know
do.
why.
Yeah, I envy that.
You say that, and then like the major holidays come around, and it's infuriating.
Yeah.
Like Christmas. Oh my god.
Oh, you know what? I would totally go all out on Christmas and barbecues. I'll tell you.
Listen, the barbecues aren't bad. It really depends on where you're getting your barbecue from.
Yeah.
So like where I live, there's a barbecue joint, and it's local, so it's really, really good. But like the town that we go to eat it at, like it's kind of a medium-sized town, but the moment that you like enter the border of town, you can already smell the pork roasting. Like, that's how prevalent the smell is there.
Mm. Yeah, like barbecues over here, they just shove like supermarket meat on a grill and just hope for the best.
Oh.
I'm just like, oh, okay.
Aspen and I look at each other, and I shake my head.
I don't have anything else.
Neither do I. So I think it's safe to say we'll be around.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. It's good to see you looking so well, Aspen. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Me too.
Oh, I forgot the whole depression drinking.
To 100%.
Yeah, and Aspen were feeling so pressured about a book as well.
Like, are you good, girly? No.
Yeah.
Have you decided what you're going to do?
Not entirely. I've decided that I'll put aside writing for a while, though. At least writing for anyone other than myself. I think I need to remember why I started doing it in the first place.
Exactly. Like, if you're not
Absolutely.
having fun doing your hobbies, like, it's not a hobby anymore.
Yeah.
After that, maybe I can start to think about publishing again and manuscripts. That could be in a month, or in a year, or even several years.
Oof.
Under the table, Aspen takes my hand.
For once, I'm not in any rush.
Juliet looks at us fondly. Compared to a couple days ago, she looks relieved. It's clear that I wasn't the only one who was worried about Aspen.
That's good. I hope you'll take all the time that you need.
Three of us make plans for the evening, settling on a time that we'll be back at the library. Juliet departs for bed, and Aspen and I remain at the table. Aspen slouches, looking up at the ceiling with a contented sigh.
I can't remember the last time I had a morning like this. Not just with you and Juliet, but where I don't wake up feeling like I've already fallen behind in the day. No plans, no obligations.
She squeezes my hand.
Just us.
I've missed days like that too.
I know I've said it, but I'm sorry for worrying the two of you so much. And for being so distracted all the time. And for several other things that I'm sure will come to mind soon.
I shake my head.
Don't be sorry. I know you were trying really hard because of how important writing is to you.
Yes, well, there are other things that are important too. I can't let myself miss out on all those. Like this.
Aspen leans over and kisses me on the cheek. Let's go!
Aw, let's go.
Okay. That is pretty important.
She laughs.
Glad you agree. There was one thing I wanted to do today, actually. And I was hoping you would join me.
Of course. What is it?
Oh.
Aspen stands up and fetches a couple heavy books that are sitting on the counter. Bringing them over to where we are, I recognize them as coming from Aspen's apartment, instead of being part of the library's collection. I make a heavy thud as she sets them on the table.
Something Mum and I used to do when I was a kid. Although it's been a few years now.
Aw.
Takes one of the books and opens it up, flipping through the pages quickly but carefully. I watch from over her shoulder until she finally stops.
Here we are.
Oh, flower pressing.
Oh, that's what me and my boyfriend does.
I
We pick flowers and we do flower pressing.
I would do this with our local flowers because we have a lot of local flowers.
Yeah.
But the thing is that sucks is so Peanut and I don't cut our grass because it encourages all of the local flora and fauna to thrive and have all the good environment stuff for our chickens and outdoor animals. But we live on a plot of land behind our grandparents' place. Because of that,
Okay.
we don't technically have the land. We're just kind of like air quote renting, not renting, whatever. So anyway, there's this big open field behind us. And so like it's great when it comes to like early spring and early summer, because it's just like filled with so many flowers. But then the neighbor comes by and cuts it all down.
Aw.
So it's just nothing but flat land now, because he uses the grass for hay for feeding his cattle. But it's like, man, I saw so many pretty flowers. And I don't know if you know what it is. Let me find it. Do you know what a maypop is?
A what? A Maypop?
Yeah, maypop.
Maypop. No.
Okay, I'm gonna. Do you see my screen? Or I might be sharing just the game itself. Give me a second.
Yeah, you just sharing the game.
Okay. Let me go to.
Oh, wait.
Let me go to Discord. I'm gonna change stream. There we go. This one.
Oh, I have not seen those before.
So they have these little fruits, and they're like everywhere. And they just hang down. But yeah, these flowers are just like all over the chicken shed and our trailer. So like it looks so pretty. And then if like sadly, you know, if like you cut off one part, the whole thing dies. But it gives off such a like nice floral smell.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, flower pressing's really pretty. I like it. I like the idea of it.
Yeah. It's really pretty.
Let me change back to this. I need this one. There we go. In the middle of the book, there's something tucked to the pages. Aspen delicately lifts it up for me to see.
Ooh.
It's a flower, but it's flat and dry. The petals look as dry and delicate as the paper they were stuck between.
Every summer, we'd go out and pick flowers to press. Isn't it pretty?
It is.
She offers it to me, and I take it very carefully. It's practically weightless, and feels like a blow out of my hands in any second.
We used to do it to celebrate the end of each school year. Although it's not quite the same, lately I've been reminded of that feeling. One chapter ending, and another beginning. So, if you're up for it, I thought perhaps we could go find some flowers of our own.
I'd love to.
Great! Let's be off then.
I let her lead the way outside. We search for a while looking for any flowers that Aspen thinks will work. There are plenty in people's gardens, but she says we're not allowed to take those. I mean... Listen. I hate that it's also, like, illegal, air quote. I don't know, like, the legality of it all. But you can't go to, like Lowe's or Home Depot and take, like, a flower. Just like a flower itself, because it's stealing.
Yeah.
We tried the park, the mountain, and even the sides of the roads. Nothing we find meets Aspen's standards. Finally, after going around a big chunk of town, we spot a hidden grove near the waterfront that seems perfect. There are several different types of flowers, all in bloom. We walk over and stop just at the edge of the patch.
These should do. What do you think?
They look really pretty. But I thought that about the other ones we saw too.
It's not just about how pretty they are. They need to be the right shape and size as well. These ones check all the boxes. Go ahead and choose some that look nice to you. Then you can snip off the tops with these.
She hands me a pair of scissors.
I don't know how to decide. They all look nice to me.
It should be easy then. It's best if they're kind of flat, though. Remember to only take the top so that the rest of the plant can grow back.
I watch her pick a couple so that I can make sure I'm doing it right. Aspen only chooses flowers that are in the middle of big patches, instead of ones that are alone. After a bit, I wander off to select my own. Both of us move around carefully, making sure not to step on anything delicate. There are some that look like the ones Aspen already had in her book, which remind me of the flowers you could buy at the store. Sweet aroma isn't as strong as it would be if I were a fox, but it's still nice. There are others that I've never seen before. Catch my eye as I'm deciding. Both kinds seem like they should work, so I'm not sure which to choose.
Ooh.
I feel like familiar would be good.
Okay, yeah.
I decided to go with the flowers that are similar to aspens. I think they'll look nice next to the ones she's carrying now, and should fit right in with the ones that are already pressed. Imitating what I saw Aspen do, I snip off a few buds and bundle them up, making sure not to crush or damage them. Then I rejoin Aspen, who's finishing up too. He inspects my collection.
Oh, those are beautiful. Good choice. Are you all set?
Yeah. Ready if you are.
The two of us return to the library, and the book's waiting for us there.
So, how do we do this?
It's quite simple, really. There are lots of ways to press flowers, but this method is the easiest. All you have to do is take your book.
Aspen grabs one of the heavy books she brought and opens it to somewhere in the middle.
Put a piece of paper in here like this for the moisture.
She folds a plain sheet of paper in half and then slides it in where the pages meet.
Then you place your flowers on top and close the book. And that's it. Easy, right?
To demonstrate, she arranges a few of the buds she's selected, spaces them out like cookies on a sheet. Once she's satisfied, she shuts the book.
Oh, I can do that.
I take one of the others and repeat the process. When I close the front cover, the pages smush down the colorful flowers. Aspen puts both books side by side on the counter.
How long does it take? Should we come back later?
Longer than that. A few days, if not weeks. We want to get all the water squeezed out.
Oh, speaking of
That's
which,
long.
it's been a couple of months since I've left the flowers in my notebook. I need to find my my wife's sticky tape so I can put them on paper. Yeah, I can't find it anywhere. I've got normal tape, but I've got white tape to mainly stick them onto the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea where that went.
I'm afraid so. Mum always said the waiting was half the fun, because it gave you something to look forward to.
I'm not sure about that.
I tend to agree. There is a certain charm to it, though. I first learned about pressing flowers when I bought a book from a second-hand store that had a few left behind by a previous owner. They must have forgotten all about the flowers. They were bone dry, even more than the ones I showed you, and they'd stained the pages. They were still beautiful, though, and made my copy unique. I left them in there to this day on my shelf. It seemed wrong to remove them after so long.
What do you do with the ones you make?
Decorate mostly. They make for nice accessories, or bookmarks, or even look nice on their own.
I can't wait to see.
Me either. Here, there are still a few left.
Aspen and I each have a couple flowers remaining. She grabs another book and opens it up. She flips through the pages, getting close to the middle, and it suddenly stops. Nestled alongside a few flowers, there's a folded up paper with Aspen's name on it.
What's that?
Stares silently for a long time, and then gently removes everything. The flowers are almost entirely brown and fragile, except for a few splotches of white on the petals. Aspen sets them aside.
It looks like I did some forgetting too. I must have put these here years ago.
What about the paper?
There's another sheet that's in there that everything's sat on top of. So the one with her name must not be the one to suck up the water. Gently removes the page in question. It's stained brown like the flowers and sticks as she tries to take it out, but eventually gives way. It crackles in her hands as she turns it over a few times. Carefully unfolding it, Aspen holds the paper where she can read it.
It was a letter to my future self. I used to write them occasionally. Most got lost or thrown out ages ago, but it figures that I'd find one here and now.
What's it say?
I'm a little afraid to find out.
There's her throat.
Dear Miss Benoit,
Gives me a sidelong glance.
I wish I just used my first name. I can't tell you how tired I am of reading letters that start like that. Anyway, I'm writing this on the evening of my 13th birthday. In case you have forgotten, today I began writing my first novel. By the time that you read this, I expect that you have half a dozen or more complete aside from this one.
Again, Aspen looks at me.
As you can see, I used to be even more obnoxious when it came to writing. Mother suggested that I compose this letter in order to look back and reflect on how far I have come. I'm keeping my goals modest so that I might surprise myself in the future. Right now, there are many questions that I have. What was university like? Have you gotten married yet? How many other famous authors have you met? Have you made more friends? I hope that you have moved to a bigger city. Mother says someday I will appreciate our town more, but I don't believe her. There is not a single thing that I will miss from here after I've left, other than my parents, of course. I have been looking at possibilities for studying abroad when I am older, and am focusing on my academics to help facilitate that. When you read this, I wonder if you will remember writing it. I hope that you are laughing about how much better your life is than I am imagining now. Yours truly, Aspen Benoit.
After she finishes reading the letter aloud, Aspen silently rereads it a few more times. She places it where it came from, alongside the dry flowers and the rest that we picked together. Then she closes the book.
Young Aspen got a few things right and a few things wrong, it seems. I'm over half a dozen books late, apparently. Modest goals, indeed. I don't really remember writing that particular letter. At least not too clearly. But for all the wishes that didn't come true, and all the things that I'm sure past me would be disappointed in current me for, it does make me smile to read it again.
I think that's the most important part.
I quite agree. It might not be the future I was imagining, but still, I wouldn't trade the present I have for anything.
Aspen and I clean up the leaves and trim stems, sweeping them into the garbage. Then we stack the books and put them up on a high shelf, where they'll be safe and out of the way. We both stare up at them, full of memories new and old.
That's enough of the past for now. Come on, we have a whole day to enjoy.
Aspen places a hand on my shoulder and kisses my cheek, then leads me out of the kitchen. I follow her out into the bright sunlight.
Right behind you.
As the day winds down and starts to get darker, a light breeze starts to pick up. Not enough to be cold, but enough to make me glad I have my jacket. Aspen, Juliet, and I sit out in the front porch with the lights on, watching the road.
How long until people start showing up?
Soon, I'd imagine. The early evening is when most trick-or-treating begins.
They'd better hurry before Miho eats all the candy.
God.
Oh my
Can't argue
god.
with that.
Such a child.
I unwrap another piece and stuff it into my mouth, shoving the wrapper into my pocket with a bunch of others.
Maybe if you go knocking on doors, you could convince people you're a kid in a costume too. That way you could get your own candy.
Do you think that would work?
I mean, it probably would.
No, but it's funny to imagine.
Oh, look! Here come a few of them now.
Sure enough, a group of 3 kids appears at the bottom of the hill and start making their way up towards us. I stand up, the giant bowl in my hands.
Oh, how cute!
One of the kids has a white sheet draped over them, with big holes cut out for the eyes. The other two are dressed like characters I've seen on TV.
Oh.
Here you go. Whoa, that's a lot. Thanks a bunch. Wait, was it? Should I take some back?
Aspen swats at me gently.
You can't do that.
The three kids hurry off, probably afraid that I really was going to reach in and reclaim some of the candy. Sit back down.
How much am I supposed to give them?
Usually a piece or two, but it's not a problem. We still have several unopened bags inside.
Great.
I'll grab another piece for myself and munch on it. That's the one thing about Halloween, is like just getting all of the discount Halloween candy.
Yeah.
Well, in that case...
Aspen reaches over and picks out a couple of candies for herself too. It isn't long before the next batch of kids shows up, with another close behind them. The second group even has some parents accompanying them.
Oh.
It gets later and later, but more kids start arriving, rather than less. I hand out candy until my arm gets tired and Aspen takes over. More than once, Juliet has to go inside and get more bags of candy to refill the bowl.
This is more work than the library on a busy day.
Even my first day of work, when Aspen helped me run the desk, felt less busy than this evening does. But also, it's a lot of fun. Many of the kids have creative costumes. I even recognize some of the characters they're dressed as. The less creative costumes are still cute too, and it's nice seeing so many happy smiles as they all walk away. It's not until the moon is high in the sky that the trick-or-treaters stop showing up. We can still hear the occasional whoop and shout from the streets nearby, but no one else comes up the path. The big bowl of candy is nearly empty, with less than a full layer left behind. A bunch of empty bags fill one of the recycling bins. In the end, we managed to go through all the candy Juliet bought. After about 10 minutes without any more kids, we finally get up from the porch.
I believe we can call it a night.
That was certainly the busiest Halloween I've ever been a part of.
Really? I didn't know if that was normal or not.
For Welly, maybe. But I don't get many trick-or-treaters at my apartment. And back home, there are like maybe 5 kids in town at any given time.
More candy for you.
Speaking of which, I hope I can count on the two of you to finish off the leftovers we have here.
You don't even have to ask.
I'd better take what I can before Miho claims it all for herself, shouldn't I?
Not if I beat you to it anyway.
Laughing, the three of us clean everything up and then finally head back inside the library.
That was quite fun, but I do think I'm ready for bed. Is something wrong?
Oh.
I barely register her words. Something is wrong, but I don't know what. Oh?
Oh. Oh.
As soon as I walk through the front door, I can tell, but I can't place what it is.
Miho?
Both of them stop walking, watching me with concern. Finally, it hits me.
It's cold.
It's cold.
It doesn't take too long to spot the source. One of the windows near the shelves, not far from Aspen's usual table, is wide open. The curtains flutter with the breeze. The two of them follow my line of sight.
Oh, did we forget to close this? But then, that doesn't make sense, does it? Why would we have just opened one of the windows?
We wouldn't.
Because someone opened the window and snuck in.
Yeah.
That window was definitely shut earlier.
It's Halloween. Maybe some kid snuck in here as a prank. Is anything missing?
Three of us look around, inspecting the shelves, front desk, and everything in between. If something is gone, it's not immediately visible.
I can't see anything out of the ordinary.
Me either.
Yeah.
Something still doesn't sit right with me.
I'm gonna go look upstairs.
The other two follow behind me. Juliet goes to check her office, but appears untouched. Aspen waits atop the stairs, watching. Meanwhile, I go to my room. Grabbing the handle, I'll push the door open and turn on the lights. I can hardly believe what I see. My window is open too. My bed sheets and pillows are strewn across the floor, like someone climbed across the bed. A few other possessions I have are also scattered around the room as if a tornado had blown through.
Miha,
Oh.
is something amiss?
Was it? I'm assuming it was silver.
Yeah, I'm gonna presume it's silver.
I can hear them both hurrying my way as I remain frozen in the doorway. Behind me, Aspen gasps as she gets a glimpse of my room.
Who? Why?
I have a feeling I already know the answer to one of those questions, but not the other. Stepping inside, I mechanically pick up my things and put them back where they belong. Everything is here, except for...
My scroll!
No!
Why would you steal that? That little piece of paper, the only belonging that I really care about, is nowhere to be seen. I check under my bed and in every nook and cranny just to be sure, but it's gone. In fact, it's all the confirmation I need.
I'll be back.
I push away past Aspen and Juliet's shocked faces and dash back downstairs. Both Aspen and Juliet shout after me as I barrel out of the library, but I ignore them both. The instant I'm outside, I transform and keep running. There's no question or doubt as to who took my scroll. The question is why. Angry as I could be, I force myself to stamp that feeling down, at least until I know Silver's reasons. Alright, let's go from here.
The path to Mount Victoria is more crowded than I've ever seen it. Both the roads and sidewalks are full of people, mostly parents with their kids. Some of them point or cheer as I run past, but I don't give them a second thought. None of them try to stop me or get in my way.
Oh, give me a second, I got a phone call. Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Can I just again mention I just hate American health insurance
Oh,
because
you know what? I feel, yeah, my condolences to American healthcare. It's just oh my goodness.
I have to make so many phone calls. So I had to call my farm. Okay, so there's a difference between regular health insurance and pharmacy insurance.
What?
They are two separate things.
What the?
And so we were looking at it and Peanut was like, "Yeah, this sucks because you like pretty much all of our medication, all of it requires prior authorization." And the thing that sucks is that my doctor, my primary care doctor, is in one town that is 45-minute drive. And the pharmacy that I go pick up those meds from is in a different town, 30 minutes away from that first town.
Oh God! So it was in opposite directions then.
Yes.
Ah.
And so they are like, "Hey, so you need to make a phone call to your primary care doctor for your Adderall and your what's the other one? There's and my antidepressants. You got to make a prior authorization call for those because even though you've been taking them for like over a month now, we're not sure that you actually need those. So you need to make a phone call."
Oh.
And then they're like, "You got to call your allergist who's in that second town and ask them, even though you've been taking your meds for over a year, we don't know if you need them." And then lastly, you need to call your HRT person because we're not sure you need the estradiol either.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I am fuming trying to figure out all the phone calls and like, because they're like, "Well, technically you don't really need it, but like, we're gonna need you to like just double check with your doctors to make sure." Anyway, thank you for that. Okay,
All right then.
let's continue.
All right. All right. I'll repeat the sentence.
Okay, go for it.
Some of them point and cheer as I run past, but I don't give them a second thought. None of them try to stop me or get in my way. By the time I climb the mountain and reach Silver's part of the forest is dark. She isn't in any of her usual spots, but I can sense she isn't far away. Pardon me? Racing through the darkness, I keep my nose near the ground, hot on her trail. Then suddenly, just like last time, I find her. She moves in the darkness, a patch of shadow that's different color than the rest. Her bead glows as vibrant as ever, illuminated her wrist. It shines on the unfurled paper in her hand. Like always, she waits with her back to me.
So you came.
Of course I did. Give me back my scroll.
I keep my distance but reach out my hand. She's just a few steps away. Tilting her head to look up at the starry sky. No, not the sky. The trees. I follow her gaze upwards and realize something. I've been here before. I recognize this tree. It's the one the bird fell from. That makes me pause. Has she been wondering about it this whole time? Is this her way of asking? She did follow me all the way home. I softened my voice, but know that I may as well be blunt.
It died, you know. They weren't able to save it.
Her posture doesn't change, but by the subtle light of her bracelet, I can see her fingers clench the edge of my scroll more tightly.
I met the woman who rescued it. She said the same thing that you did. That's just how nature is.
Silence. Gritting my teeth, I try to contain my glowing frustration. Normally, I can tolerate her silence. But tonight, instead of just coming to talk like she knows I would, she steals my most beloved possession and makes me chase her out here. So she can ignore me.
Don't you have anything to say? You must have come here for a reason, didn't you?
More silence. Not even a breeze disturbs it. Finally, I've had enough. I step forward, snapping a branch beneath my shoes.
Hey! Answer me, damn it! Stop acting like you don't care about anything!
That gets her attention. She looks at me over her shoulder, face hidden except for her eyes. And then she faces me.
Were you to happen upon another burn, more broken than the first, would you still try to save it?
Of course.
Even knowing that your effort is likely to be futile?
Yeah, even then. At least there's a chance it would work out.
You speak like a human, fighting against the inevitability of death. While we could watch the river of life from its shores, you choose to struggle upstream. Why?
Why? Because otherwise it all just passes by. I did what you said and watched from the shores for so long because I didn't even think about joining it. But once I did, once I let someone pull me in, I realized I like it more this way. It's hard sometimes. I haven't even been trying that long, but those hard times just help me appreciate the good ones more. Or even at all. There's someone I met who was also afraid of getting hurt, and someone else who was afraid of just passing by. They showed me that those are parts of life too, just like death is for a lot of people. Who cares about living forever if you don't care about being alive? Immortal or not, it's all we have. You and me, my friends, that bird, it's the same for all of us. I could have run away. I thought about it a million times. It would have been a lot easier than staying.
I just need to take a phone call. I'll be right back.
Okay,
And
I'll wait on you.
for now, here I am.
Sorry for all the phone calls, y'all. We live very busy lives. But on a side note, I did see... Interesting. I do see that Deltarune's, like, out already? What? Yeah, you can buy it. Will be available on launch with more plans for free updates. Wait, it's already available to buy. Isn't that crazy? Released June 4th. Oh shit. Yeah, no, Deltarune came out today. I thought it was supposed to come out tomorrow. Why is it $24? What the heck? Why is it so expensive? I'm gonna chill on that then. I'll add it to my wish list though for sure. I do want to play Deltarune. I want to play it again. It was really fun. I'm already playing like so many like Deltarune-esque games. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da. But other than that, as a heads up, y'all, we're gonna be doing another Studio Alon game. Trying to plan it out. We're gonna be doing. Heroynex won't be part of this one. One won't be part of the other one. Heroynex and I are gonna finish this one together. And we're still. I'm gonna go ahead and just start another visual novel because again, with my condition, it's just hard for me to read visual novels back to back to back, and so I need like assistance. So I do have another person lined up for another Studio Alon title. It will be on Steam, so it'll be a lot easier to play. Let me double check it. Okay, yes. And they did give me the heads up too. They were like, yo, so if you're gonna play this game, like, you cannot play past like Act 2. Until like the embargo's done. So we can play for like a good little bit until the embargo. But as far as I know, the plan for gaming next week's gonna be totally normal. But the week of the 16th till check my calendar. Okay, so Peanut's working that morning. Okay, so it would be easier. Sorry, mother-in-law is asking about damages from the hailstorm. So Ina and I are going to be out of the country / out of the state. June 18th through the 23rd, and then 24th. I got a doctor's appointment that day, so I'm just gonna take that day off as well. So I'll be back. Well, I'll still be doing a full stream on the 17th, which is a Tuesday, and then I'll be back to playing on the 25th. I do believe this. Yeah, that's both of our dentist appointments on the 26th, which is fine. But yeah, so we'll be out of the country. We'll be having a good time. You know what? I just now realized I'm sharing the wrong screen. I'm supposed to be sharing game capture with y'all. Y'all were seeing all of the Steam stuff. Oops. Yeah, we're playing a Tithe and Blood. With another streamer. They'll be helping me read that one. But Studio Alon was like, damn, we like y'all reading. You want to read another one? I'm like, yeah, we'll read another one. Fuck it. But yeah. So yeah, that'll be next Friday. And we're gonna try to make that into a weekly series as well. Just again, wholly depending on people scheduling, etc., etc. And it is more of like not only first come first serve, but also like people that I do want to like collab with that I've been having on my schedule. So that's why like the post is still up, but I'm not taking it down. Engagement's engagement. Yeah. So other than that, what is the schedule for the rest of this week? The schedule for the rest of this week is wonky, very wonky. Because stuff got moved around. Like a lot of stuff got moved around due to me not streaming Monday. Why didn't I stream on Monday? What happened? Oh, I felt like doo-doo, that's why. What up? Just I'm hearing everything going off right now and I want to know why. I think it's... Yeah, it was just another thing. It's fine. Yeah, it was just a group chat. That's fine. So, the other thing, too, is, like I said, schedule this week is wonky because I didn't stream on Monday, which means that everything had to get pushed back, which means that those don't know and aren't aware. Ooh. Is your OBS not putting your Discord in streamer mode automatically anymore, like mine? Wait, is it? I guess it's not. Wait, shit, it's not. Thank God. I don't know, streamer mode always pissed me off because, like, I was trying to, like, when you're trying to do stuff and, like, get handles and such, and I have shitty memory, so I can't remember who everyone's names is. What their tags are. But yeah. Here's the schedule for this week, right? So, we're gonna do Baldur's Gate 3 with Purr and with the Cat Gang today at 2 p.m. CST. Then Thursday morning, I know it says on my schedule we're playing Super Quest. We are not playing Super Quest. We are actually playing DBD. We're doing a DBD collab with Aruna Lavender, Solanina, and Kit. Haven't played with Kit in so long, and we have 2 witches. So I was gonna make the joke that we just do an all Sable game and just go Invocation only. But I know that's gonna be a pain in the ass for all of us. And then Thursday afternoon, it does say we're playing Gymporium, but at the moment, we are going to be taking Thursday afternoon off. At the moment, because as I mentioned earlier, I gotta go pick up my Adderall, and I'm supposed to pick it up on Thursday. My doctor at the pharmacy, Stinky, and they're like, "No, you don't need your Adderall." I'm like, "But it's literally, I'm going to literally run out before Monday, and the pharmacy's closed on the weekends, so like, I need my meds." And they're like, I don't know. Maybe you can, like, live without it. I'm like, okay, bitch. So, I'm supposed to go pick up my meds on Thursday afternoon. If I don't go to pick them up, then so be it. We'll deal without it. And I'll just, like, take that Thursday off and then go, like, another day. But then, on Friday, we are going to be doing Gymporium in the morning. Because I do want to play that game. They gave us an exclusive beta access key, which is kind of like the Pokemon Underground and from Diamond and Pearl, where you're like digging up fossils and such. Very cute game. You can play Gymporium, part of the Steam Next Fest, but we got the exclusive beta code where we can play more stuff than the normal people can. So we get to play more of it. And in the afternoon, Friday afternoon, normally we do it Clair Obscure, but we are changing it up because the ZZZ 2.0 update will be finally available. Technically, it'll be available Friday morning, but we are going to do it Friday afternoon, just so that way the patch and everything will be fully installed. Like, I'm probably still gonna do my morning bit, just to get all of the dailies out of the way, just so that way we can just hard focus on new content. Because I want to get all the new content ready, sorted to go, and whatnot. I know next week we're definitely probably going to have to put in a stream day to do all of the World Cup qualifiers for Master Duel. I'm pretty sure we have to, and then we have a bunch of other games to play. Like, I'm going to list the games that we have to play. We already finished Frog Legs yesterday. I'm glad that we finished that in one stream. We got Cauldron, Clonizer, Super Quest, Boba Bay, Rift of the Necrodancer, Crafty Survivors, Jump the Track, Linked, Paper Clay, Pipistrello, Gigasword, Boss Fight Tactics, Craft. And as I said, we are doing the other visual novel next Friday. And then we got the Baldur's Gate collab. I think we're still doing the Supermarket Together collab with Sin. I don't know if we're doing the Roots of Pacha collab with Sin. I'll have to double check on all of our scheduling because we have a lot of stuff lined up. We are doing a collab Thursday morning / afternoon in Dead by Daylight with Creeps in the afternoon and Melly in the morning, hopefully. Melly gets back to me. So we are going to be, like, packed with collabs and games. Honestly, I might have to, like, tone back some collabs, but we're definitely gonna keep the Baldur's Gate and Heroynex and Lunari ones, because Heroynex and I have been playing Please Be Happy for 2-3 months now, and I like to finish this game. We don't have to do all the routes, but I do want to finish at least one route. And then Lunari, we're gonna start that one. And then Baldur's Gate 3 with Per is we are very close. We're in Act 3, and I feel like we could finish it probably by October. Because July is gonna be kind of wonky. Could have turned it off, audio off mode, because it worked. Oh, that's fair. I might have disabled it, but I'm not entirely sure. Hi, show. How you doing? But yeah, other than that, we have a lot of games to play. And of course, those are the games that we got to continue. Like, we still got to continue Everhood 2, Beyond Galaxyland, Mika the Witch, Blade Chimera, Eternal Strands, S4U, our personal Baldur's Gate 3 profile, and then Fields of Mystery. Fields of Mystery is supposed to have its patch-free update. And so we have a lot to do to start doing. And that is the main issue. Is like we just have a bunch of stuff. But on a side note, like I am not. Yeah, everyone's freaking out. I'm just looking at socials. Everyone's like, "What the fuck do you mean? The Deltarune came out today." I think it's just chapters 1 and 2, and then you go ahead and preemptively buy it, and you get 3 and 4 tomorrow. I think that's what's happening. I'm not entirely certain though. It is wild that it's already like out. Again, maybe I'm misreading what's happening. Okay. I'm just looking to see what else there is for us to do while we're waiting on Heroynex to get back. Because like we don't really have time to load anything up. I feel bad to like load up something and then they show back up. But that is the schedule for life events. And I guess we could like let me go ahead and start like downloading stuff that we need, right? So you're gonna get to look at my Steam library. Let's see. I don't know. We are gonna be playing Boba Bay. Let's go ahead and install that. Boss Fight Tactics, we're playing that. Hi Weeb, how you doing? We are waiting. Oh, and Cauldron, we're playing that. Hi Steam dying. Hi Steam dying. We're getting all the stuff installed for next week / the week after. Yes, there's a lot of indie games. I love indie games. Indie games are what this channel's all about. That's how we play. We finished Froglegs. Did I miss Plabby Happy? No. We're still playing Plabby Happy. Heroynex, it's still up. It's still up. It's just Heroynex is taking a phone call right now. So we are just chit-chatting while we're waiting. Because I don't want to pull up another game, like Master Duel or something, while we're waiting on her. And then she comes up, and then we have to, like, finish the game. I feel bad for that. We're playing Gimporium this week, for sure. We gotta play Giga Sword as well. What else do we need to install ahead of time? Oh, we need to install Jump to Track. What else? We install Linked Banner to Spark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I am so sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. I've just been chit chatting. What's up?
Oh, yeah, it was just my Artisan Plus employment coach. I'm in between coaches because my previous coach has been laid off, so the one that's in charge of everything just called me to see how I've been getting on between the transfer. So
Okay.
been updating of what's been going on.
Okay. Let me pull back the game. All right. And whenever you're ready, we can start back up.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Someone took a chance on me once too. Even if I wouldn't have died, they still saved my life in a way. I thought it would be impossible for someone like me, like you and me, that it wasn't even worth the effort to try and change things. But I was wrong. And I'm glad that I was. And so that's why I do the same thing all over again, with a burn. Because if there's even a chance, it's worth trying.
Although I don't say it, I can't help but think even talking like this is something relatively new for me. Unlike Silver, who talks more than Aspen's old bugs most of the time. It just goes to show that there are a lot of different paths our lives could have taken, but they both brought us here together. While Silver is still thinking about what I said, her eyes suddenly go wide at the same time that I feel something warm on my neck. Holding my necklace where I can see it, both Silver and I just stare at my bead brightens before our eyes. The glow intensifies to a point that Silver has to shield her eyes and look away, although somehow it doesn't bother me. I also watch as another eyelash thin crack appears, and then another. For a moment I half expected it to just shatter, but it stops after the third crack, still holding itself together. The light from it also dims a little bit, but still brighter than it was. When I let go and it falls back against my neck, my bead feels heavier than normal too. Silver is able to look at me again, and though the shock has faded from her expression, her eyes still stay fixed on my bead. She laughs, but is humorless. Shaking her head, she continues to stare at my necklace instead of my eyes.
I had hoped that by looking at this, I might be able to learn your secret. Some magic spell or incantation that you had invoked. At the very least, I thought I might understand.
Oh, you could have just asked us!
Hey, that's all you gotta
Just ask me.
do!
Even as I
Yeah,
read it,
just ask.
I thought that I must be missing something. For what meaning could such simple instructions hold? Even as you arrived here, I hoped that perhaps you would reveal some missing part of the puzzle. So golden was your light as I approached your library that I thought it must be someone else. So bright that I could see it clearly. The same color as the person close to you. Now, I don't know if I should be disappointed or not to find there is no secret to these words. Is there?
Holding my scroll in front of her face the same way I held my necklace, her eyes glide across the characters.
수복강령. Please be happy.
They said it! They said the title! Oh my god!
What simple nonsense. And yet, how could I deny that you've taken it to heart when your very aura tells me your truth?
It's all I can do to blink, to breathe, to stay standing upright as the world narrows down to just the two of us, all awareness of anything else falling away from me. Confusion is just as plain on Silver's face at my reaction as I struggle to speak.
You. You can read it? That's what it says?
After years of looking, trying to understand, she could read it just like that? Silver, who says who cares nothing for people and their lives or culture? I'm not the only one stunned. The parchment falls from Silver's hand as she drops it in shock. It flutters to the ground and stays there, even as the budding breeze starts to blow. The shock changes into understanding, and then Silver laughs again. Really laughs, for the first time I've ever seen. Her usual dignified and threatening poise is gone as she laughs so hard that it echoes around the woods. Clutching her chest, it's all she can do to remain upright as she acts as she heard the world's funniest joke. Still, just like earlier, I'm not sure if there's any humor in it. Finally, with a groan, she retrieves my scroll and then straightens up, wiping her eyes.
You're serious, aren't you? You never knew what it said before now.
I can't read!
And I can't read Cantonese!
Like, I've had the scroll for hundreds of years.
I can't read English!
No one's, like, helped me. The library didn't know either. Hey, Goopy.
Like, bruh! My gal! I shake my head.
I would call you a liar if you were anyone else.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just dumb.
You've made a fool of me without even trying. Or rather, I've made a fool of myself. I thought your glow was the result of those words. But you achieved that by yourself. Whatever it is you feel, it's something you've learned on your own, isn't it? You truly believe all the things you said.
Yeah, I'm pretty simple.
Maybe not on my own. I had a lot of help along the way. But yeah, I mean it. Every word.
I reach out a hand again, taking a step forward, then another and another. I stop just in front of Silver. All she has to do is take the final step forward. I don't demand anything, just reach. She eyes my hand warily, like a stray dog trying to decide if it should trust someone. I hold my breath, waiting. With a rustle, she pushes the paper into my hand and then backs away, looking at the ground.
Your path is different than mine. We may have more in common than I once thought, but I still cannot follow behind you. Though I can understand why you walk it.
I nod.
And I understand why you said no. I hope you change your mind someday.
Perhaps. Although, I do not think we'll meet again.
Wait, what?
Why not?
Where are you going?
Are you leaving?
Are you going on
Soon.
holiday?
I don't know when. I haven't decided. But I made up my mind before I ever visited your library.
Oh,
You're disappointed.
I am. You're the first other Gumio I've ever known. You're like family, I guess. Didn't you call us sisters before?
Silver blushes, averting her eyes.
Perhaps.
Then that's what we are.
Sisters.
Let's go.
Yay!
That's simple, is it?
It really is.
Silver shakes her head and looks around, forgetting a bit of her standoffish composure. This is about the time where she typically transforms and run away.
At least tell me before you leave, okay? Whenever it is.
She hesitates, but then agrees.
Fine. Goodbye, Miho.
Bye, Silver.
She walks towards me rather than away and comes stop right beside me. We both face in different directions. Slowly, she
Oh,
raises a
my
hand
bad.
and awkwardly places a hand on my shoulder. By the time I turn my head to look at her, all I can see is her disappearing gleam of silver fox fur as she blends into the night. I'm alone, but I don't feel alone. Looking at my scroll, there are a few new creases from where Silver held onto it. But they don't mess up the writing or anything. It is another record of what we've been through together. The breeze from before picks up, making the paper flutter in my grip, and I use two hands to hold it. Without reading, I let my eyes wander over their characters. It's funny. All this time spent not knowing what they've said, just to find that I've lived by them all along. Or at least, I've started to. Happiness? That's a new one for me too, I think. Another abstract concept that didn't seem meant for me, but like everything else, it got easier along the way. I roll my scroll back up and store it safely in my pocket. The woods are dark as I walk through them, but I'm not afraid. The shining light of my bead brightens the path, leading my way back home. Stray thoughts!
I'll go from here.
Okay.
The familiar jingle of the Bell House's door greets me as I walk in for what could be the last time. Once Aspen starts working at the new location next week, I won't have much reason to visit this one anymore. Huh?
Oh, I'm presuming because she's taken a break from writing,
I,
she's took up the new location.
I guess? The scent of baking bread and brewing coffee, mixed with the clean earthiness of all the plants, is something that I'll miss too.
Hey! Welcome to the Bell House! Oh, it's Miho! Hey,
Lena!
Let Nina tilts her head over her shoulder to yell back towards the kitchen.
Aspen! Your girlfriend's here!
The muffled sound from the back, and a couple of the other patrons turn to look at the source of the shout. Lena ignores them entirely. Thanks, Lena.
She'll be right out.
Oh, God.
Thanks!
Lena will also be moving over to the new location when it opens. Aspen told me she got to pick which staff members she wanted to invite to the new store. She doesn't want Lena to know that. She'd never live it down. Since there's no one else in line, I can lean against the counter to talk with Lena while I wait for Aspen.
I was just thinking about how I'm gonna miss this place. It must be like that for you too, right? I don't know. I haven't thought about it too much. Maybe I'll miss it when I get there. But why get a head start on that when I've still got another week here? Good point.
I'm sure Lena and I have different feelings about the Bell House anyway. I have a lot of special treasured memories here. But for her, it's just part of her routine. Kind of like how the library's poured into both Aspen and me, but not in the same way. Aspen herself comes from the kitchen, carrying a small plate with a strawberry croissant on it. Lena locks on instantly.
Well, you still got croissants left?
More. I
Croissant.
was saving it
Croissant.
for Miho.
It's my girlfriend's, don't touch it!
Are you gonna finish that
Using your powers
croissant?
already?
It's not the first time. Besides, I've noticed we go through blueberry muffins suspiciously fast when you're working the counter.
Oh, I'm sorry that I need a little snack.
Lena!
Oh, dang it. I thought I was being sneaky.
Lena, how many have you been eating?
Lena, how many have you been eating a day?
So, shh.
Aspen puts a finger to her lips as she hands me the illicit treat.
Wow, it's been
Okay.
It's not stolen. It's just selectively available.
Right. I'm gonna go select something available from the rack myself. See you later, Miho. Bye, Lena.
Sure enough, she plucks a muffin from the display case on her way to the back of the store. I take a bite out of my croissant, getting strawberries and cream all over my hand. As messy as it is delicious. Aston reaches up and wipes away a dollop of cream from my nose.
Go sit down and I'll bring you something to drink. What would you like?
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to do that.
I want to, though. What'll you have?
Well, another foxtail latte, please.
Of course. I don't even have to ask.
It is my drink, after all.
You made a drink after her? That's cute.
Yes, I'm well aware. And I'll have it right out.
I carry my croissant to my favorite seat by the window and sit down, enjoying the familiar view. It's changed a bit since I first sat down here half a year ago, but it's still mostly the same on the outside. With only a couple weeks left until the new year, people bustle about outside, trying to make the best of what's left of this one. I think I begin to understand why it's important to people, why it's worth numbering the years when you only get to see so many of them. I spot Aspen approaching, carrying a drink in each hand. I move my plate out of the way to make room for her as she sits down.
Here you are, a foxtail latte for its namesake.
Thanks!
Ooh.
It's delicious.
You haven't even tried it yet.
So? I don't need to. I just know.
It has been a hit with the customers too, I must say. More than any of the other beverages I've created. Clearly I have my wonderful muse to thank for that. You've left a mark on this place too.
That's why I get them for free forever, right?
Or as long as I'm working here, at least. You know,
Aw.
maybe Lena was a little bit right about me abusing my powers.
Don't. It's okay, girl.
Nah,
I won't tell
absolutely
anyone.
not.
Good.
There's a growing list of things not to tell Lena. Aspen takes a sip of her own drink and looks impressed.
Damn, that is good.
She removes the lid to let it cool, which isn't something I've seen her do before.
What are you doing after this?
That's fine. I'll probably just head back to the library. I don't have much else to do today.
Jealous?
Why? What about you?
I'm only working half my shift here today. After lunch, I'm going to the new store to help Regina with some final inspections and then doing interviews for new hires. It's a lot.
You're doing all of that in one day?
There aren't that many days left. We should have been done with hiring already, but one person changed his mind last minute. So now...
She trails off and ends with a sigh. A combination I know all too well.
Well, I could go on, but I won't. Who would have thought opening a brand new restaurant would be so much work?
Although she laughs, I can't help but be a little concerned. Although it's been over a month since Aspen decided to take a break from writing, it's still way too soon for her to be overworking herself again.
Are you sure you're gonna be alright? I mean, you're gonna be this busy until it opens, right?
If not busier, yes. It won't be fun, but I'll manage.
I've heard that one before, you know.
I know. I mean it though. Really. The soft opening is in 10 days. Even after that, there'll be plenty to do. Maybe more than there is now. But eventually things will settle down, and I don't have to sell my soul in the process too. That's the big difference. I can handle being tired. It was the dread and anxiety that I couldn't take.
Compared to before, there's something different in the way Aspen speaks. When she would talk about her writing and how she felt, it was obvious that even she didn't believe the words she was saying. But now, I can tell from the light in her eyes that she means it.
Okay. You're pretty determined, huh?
I am. It felt good to make my mind up about something. I want to give it my very best, so that I can feel good when I look back on it too. Besides, I'd say that growing the new Bell House into Wellington's most popular cafe would be a more than adequate way to be remembered. But I'll settle for it being a hidden gem, too.
As long as you're selling strawberry croissants and foxtail lattes, I don't see how it could be anything else.
Hopefully. Word of mouth from the first few days will be very important. If we fail to make a good first impression, then it could be hard to recover.
You're worrying too much. Everyone already loves the Bell House. I'm sure they'll love yours too.
Me? Worry too much? No way.
Uh-huh.
Well, you're probably right. Besides, I have a great team, too. With their help, I'm sure it'll turn out okay.
That's more like it. You and Lena are gonna do great.
I can't let her show me up after all, especially as the store manager. Oh God, I really am starting to sound like her.
That's another one for the list, right?
Naturally. Speaking of Lena, I need to get back to work. I'm busy this afternoon, but I'm free tomorrow after work.
I'm always free when you are.
It's a date then.
We say goodbye with a kiss like usual before Aspen has to leave. I finished the last couple bites of my croissant on my own, watching out the window. At one point, even the Bell House wasn't here. I don't know what was, but it's hard for me to picture it or anything else. At one point, it was just someone's dream, an idea or a half-formed concept. It took a lot to turn that into the little restaurant that I know and love today. For the new Bell House, Aspen will be responsible for the start of its story, for making it more than just a dream. I have a lot of faith in her, though. She's great at stories. Seeing her enthusiasm and determination return is such a relief. Her path forward is clear, at least for now. I'm glad for her. I really am. Still, I can't help but wish I had something like that for myself. A goal to work towards, or a dream to fulfill. At first, Juliet let me work at the library so that I could have some structure in my everyday life. And to get more used to being around other people. But that's not something I need as much anymore. I don't mind my job, but the fact that I'm here right now and come and go wherever I feel like it kind of proves that what I do there isn't 100% necessary. Still, it's home. A place to go back to while I figure out what's next. So after cleaning up my trash and finishing my drink, that's exactly what I do. At breakfast, Juliet and I sit at the table, and she prepares a place for 3 people like usual.
I forgot to tell you. Aspen won't be here today.
Oh, I see. Is everything all right?
Yeah, she's just busy. She said she doesn't know how often she'll be able to come by until the new Bell House opens.
I understand. She must have a lot of responsibilities to take care of right now.
Mm-hmm. I was worried about how much work she has to do. I still am. But she's pretty confident in herself. So maybe it'll be okay.
It's only natural that you'd be concerned. You care about her a lot. I'm sure she's glad that you worry about her, even when she tells you not to. I have faith in her too. When Aspen puts her mind to something, she's unstoppable. One of my earliest memories with her came from her first visit to the library when she was trying to find a certain book on the shelves. Only it wasn't there, because I was reading it at the time and had it in my room. She asked if she could borrow it, promising to return it the next day. I told her she could take more time with it, but she stayed up all night reading it and brought it back like she promised. It wasn't a short book by any means either. I imagine she's treating her new role with similar focus and determination, which is why I'm sure she'll succeed in the end.
spend all my time worrying about her. I have to trust her to live her life too. Even though I said that last time, I understand it better this time.
That's good. It can be a difficult lesson to learn.
That's for sure.
Juliet laughs, and then we start to eat. A little quiet without Aspen, or even the sound of her silverware. Especially since, for Juliet, having a meal is entirely symbolic anyway. I try to eat fast, just to get it over with. When we finish to clean up, Juliet lingers around the kitchen for a bit in a way that means she has something to say. Sure enough, everything else is done, she clears her throat.
Miho, there's something I wanted to ask you.
Sure. What's up?
Earlier this morning, I saw that I'd received a reply to a message that I never expected to be answered. A couple months ago, I managed to find someone online that I thought might be related to your friend Zhang Ying, and reached out to confirm. They never got back to me, and so I didn't mention it to you. But then today, she finally responded and said that yes, they are distant relatives. She said that if you'd like to talk with her, she'd be happy to tell you a bit about Zhang Ying, or at least what she knows. Is that something you'd like to do?
Oh. Wow. I guess you wouldn't be shocked that I never even thought about them maybe having a family.
I thought that might be the case. You're welcome to think about it and get back to me later.
Mind, Jiang was always alone, but with me. They belong to the forest and to the rest of the world equally. But it makes sense that they weren't really alone. They had people who loved them too. It hits me that there's so much I don't know about Jiang Yin. Really, I barely know anything. Every minute shared with me only represented a very small part of their life. In a sense, they may as well be a stranger. I'm a little afraid that knowing more about them could change how I feel about them too. But I decided it's a risk I'm willing to take. I'd rather know more about who they really were.
Nah, I don't need to. I'd like to talk to her.
Wonderful. I'll let her know then. I believe she's in America, so our times are fairly different. Shall I see if tomorrow evening would work?
Sure, that sounds good. Thanks. And thanks for tracking her down and messaging her in the first place.
It's my pleasure. It's what I specialize in, after all. I'll let you know tonight if I hear back from her.
Okay. I'm going to see Aspen when she gets off work, but I'll be back sometime this evening.
I'll see you then. Have a great day, Miho.
Have a good sleep.
There's a lot that I'm looking forward to talking about with Aspen today. I set myself up in the library and take care of my chores like usual, but it's hard to think about anything else. The afternoon sunshine draws us to the park once Aspen gets off work. Instead of staying indoors at her apartment or the library, she tells me all about her day at work. In exchange, I tell her about my upcoming call.
Wow! Juliet's incredible, isn't she? I had no idea she was setting that up.
Me either. It was a total surprise. She said she sent the message a long time ago, though, and it took months before she got a response.
Well, I can certainly empathize with that. At least in this case, the response turned out to be a good one.
Hopefully. I'm a little bit nervous, though.
About what?
Just about what they might say. What if it turns out Changyin is totally different from what I thought? What if they were actually a terrible person?
Then that would be true whether you knew it or not. They do say ignorance is bliss for a reason. If I were you, though, I would want to know the truth no matter what.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe someday I'll be able to do something without worrying about it the whole time.
If If you figure out the secret, let me know. Lena sure isn't sharing it. I think she's somewhere around here too. At least she mentioned that before she clocked out.
Is that why we're here?
Not at all. I adore Lena, but I'll be spending more time with her than without her for the next month. I just wanted to appreciate the fresh air before I forget what it's like.
Put a ton of plants in your bell house too. Did you know that plants help us breathe? I just learned that on TV.
I was aware, but I'm glad for you. Plants are on the list though. I also want to put in a reading corner with a small library for people to browse while they visit. Regina's allowing me to set it up and decorate how I see fit, so I'm being as self-indulgent as I can.
A cafe with a library in it? That sounds perfect for you. Where would you get the books from? Juliet?
I was planning to ask her for some, yes, as well as a few from my own collection, and Lena's, and anyone else who'd like to donate. Maybe Juliet would even let us share books, so you can return them at either place.
How would you keep track of it? Would you hire someone to do it?
Well, I happen to know a certain someone who's very experienced in that position. But no, we would simply have to use the honor system, like Juliet used to.
I still don't get how she doesn't worry about people stealing them. I mean, I do, but I don't.
I think it makes sense. Maybe it's even impossible to steal from a library. After all, they're meant for sharing books. If you take one home and give it to a friend instead of returning it, it still served its purpose. Or if you hold on to it for years and then only return it much later, you still returned it. That's the beauty of books. They can always wait. My New Year's resolution is to get through at least half of my backlog, personally.
Your New Year what?
Resolution. It's like a goal that you set for yourself for the year. And then usually give up on by February, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
That sounds neat. Did you have one this year?
I did. It was to finish and hopefully release a book. It may not have come true, but I'm happy with the outcome all the same.
I should try to think of one for next year myself. Maybe I'll try to get through half my reading backlog too.
Do you have one of those?
Nope. So I'm doing good already. Maybe it'll be to read 10 books. Or 100 books. I don't know what a good number to try is.
Probably somewhere in between. You don't have to make it about reading, though. You don't have to make one at all if you don't want to. Only if it helps motivate you.
I'll think about it.
Something else?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, the library's fine and all. But I'm not really excited about it the same way you are about the Bell House. Yesterday, I was thinking about how Juliet doesn't need me to help her. She just gave me the job as a favor, even if she said otherwise. I don't really need that favor anymore, though.
You've outgrown it.
Yeah. I have other things I can rely on.
One of them links arms with me.
Always.
Not far away, there's an empty bench alongside the path. An aspen leads us to it so we can sit down. We've been walking for almost an hour now, so our break is nice. Aspen takes off her hat and sets her purse on the ground between us while I stretch out my legs. We're not the only ones out here enjoying the afternoon. The park's alive and bustling. Bikers, joggers, dog walkers, and skaters all dodge around each other. Plus the regular pedestrians like Aspen and me. Some of the dogs even run around off their leashes, ditching the road entirely. People are playing all kinds of sports too, and I can even tell the difference between some of them by now. I'm still a bit confused on what football is, though. I even spot Lena, though she doesn't see us. Aspen pokes me in the side.
Oh, look over there. Think he's lost?
Across from us.
Oh, doggy.
This dog, I'm not gonna lie, I'm sorry. It looks so different from the rest of the art style. It took me out of it.
Aw.
There's a break into foot traffic around for us now, so I don't see anyone watching him.
His owner's probably around here somewhere. Maybe he ran ahead of them.
The dog looks over at us, like he knows we're talking about him. Takes a couple steps towards us, sniffing the air, with his tail wagging just a little bit.
Oh, come here. Here, puppy.
The puppy, Aspen's right about that, slowly creeps closer towards Aspen's outstretched hand. I sit still, not wanting to spook him. He seems friendly but cautious. 1 step, 2 steps, he never stops sniffing. Then he runs forward, bites the handle of Aspen's purse, and takes off with it.
A little monkey.
Aspen jumps to her feet.
Hey, stop. Come here.
The dog doesn't even look back as it runs away, dragging Aspen's purse with it. The contents start to spill out as they go. I run after the puppy, who's going further into the park, not wasting my breath shouting. Been running way too much these past couple months. He transformed, but I think that would probably scare him even more. I know better than to chase a dog, but I don't have much other choice. Hope I can just wear him out and then catch him. Glancing back, I see Aspen falling behind me, gathering up everything that she can. Puppy also looks back at me every now and then, teaching directions at random. Some of the people who see us lunge for the dog or try to block him off, but he dodges all of them and keeps running. A little impressed. He zigzags again, but this time it's lucky for me. He's heading straight towards Lena.
Hey, Lena!
He spins around to see me. I can tell she's trying to process what's happening. The dog is closer to her than he is to me.
Catch him!
Luckily, my words get through. Lena crouches, already warmed up. Puppy sees her and starts to go a different direction, away from both of us.
Not so fast!
Lena jumps for him and flaps her wings to carry herself even farther. He crashes to the ground just in front of a dog who scrambles over himself to try and stop and turn again.
Gotcha.
I reach him just in time to grab him by the scruff of his neck. He immediately drops Aspen's purse like a thief who's been caught. Not that I would know. Aspen herself is slowly approaching, her arms full as she tries not to drop anything.
Not quite how I expected to end my workout today.
Thank you, Lena. You're literally a lifesaver.
Whoa! Aspen said literally! That means it's serious.
I make sure Aspen's purse is safe before I let go of the puppy, who's been tossing and turning in my arms. Aspen walks up and wags his finger at him.
And as for you, hasn't anyone taught you any manners?
The dog walks away from us, but not very far, so you can watch instead. He reminds me a little bit of Silver.
Aw.
Hope it doesn't turn into a person.
I've seen that dog around before. Pretty sure he's a stray. I haven't heard of him taking anyone's stuff like that, though. Got anything good in your
Huh.
purse?
Not if you're a dog. There's just...
While digging around in her now refilled purse, Aspen stops and then pulls out a smushed plastic wrapper.
I guess there's the other half of my lunch that I forgot about.
Aw.
The dog wags his tail and barks in Aspen's direction. She frowns.
This is what you were after, wasn't it? It really wasn't that good, I promise.
She unwraps the remnants of a sandwich and tosses it to the dog, who gobbles it down in just a couple bites before looking at us for more. If he's a stray like Lena said, that could be the best meal he's had in days.
That's all I have.
Lena and I are both empty-handed.
What should we do with him? What if he's not a stray and someone's looking for him? We must not be looking very hard. I've seen him a couple days in a row now.
Poor thing. He seems so friendly when he isn't running off with my things.
I stoop down to try to pet him and he lets me. He even licks my hand a couple times.
Aw.
Maybe we can take him back to the library with us. Juliet might know what to do.
Well, she is known for helping strays. I'm not sure how we'd get him back there, though.
I can carry him. He doesn't look too heavy.
Carry him.
Carry him.
Yeah.
Carry
Oh,
him.
why not?
Why not?
If he'll
Yeah.
just
He's a
Please be
puppy.
careful.
I will.
I crouched down and approached him slowly, keeping my hand out for him to sniff. I also sort of wag my own tail to help reassure him. Instead of running away, he just flops into his back, asking for a belly rub. I do that with one hand while I slide the other beneath him. He's so lean that I can see his ribs, and I scoop him up. He whoops in surprise, but doesn't try to escape. Once I get him situated, he's pretty calm.
That wasn't so
Aw.
bad.
Both Aspen and Lena crowd in to pet him now that he can't get away. He sits there and takes it all in stride.
Okay. He's not that heavy, but let's get going anyway.
All right. I'll text Juliet so that she isn't totally blindsided when we get there. See you tomorrow, Lena.
Later, boss. Later, mijo. Oh, later, puppy.
Feeling against my shoulder, the dog doesn't mind when Aspen moves his paw to wave goodbye to Lena. Although the dog starts to squirm at some point, I manage to carry him all the way home. He sheds and definitely smells like a stray dog, but I don't mind it too much. Can't help it after all. Aspen only holds him a couple times. For some reason, he's more antsy with her than with me, so her turns don't last as long. Hi, Cordy. When we arrive at the library, Juliet's waiting just inside.
I thought for a moment that the puppy was sitting on a chair.
Oh, God. Okay,
He was just sitting on a chair, and everyone else just like sat down in the same chair.
so here's the thing, right?
Okay.
It's a very definite different art style and such, but I feel like if they would have removed background, the box, it would look even more off-putting to just have this random different art style dog with the 3 anime girls.
Yeah.
The
I'm
puppy.
trying to see like if we've seen any other animals because I'm presuming the dog would look like in the same art style as the animals.
We've only seen.
We've seen the fox, haven't we?
Yeah,
The Gumiho fox.
yeah, and the Gumiho Fox is like a definite, like, it leans more anime-ish to me.
Okay.
Let's take him upstairs.
I don't want to set him down here with the last few library patrons and all the books. Other than his initial chase, he's been pretty calm. But that could change once he's recharged. We all go to my room where I finally put the dog on the floor. He starts sniffing around immediately, although there isn't that much to sniff. I watch for any signs of trouble, but he's good.
I like him a lot more when he isn't robbing me.
He just didn't know how to ask politely.
Mood.
There's a half-full glass of water on my desk, and I set it down on the ground so the dog can drink some. He slurps up as much as he can, the glass too big for his tongue to reach all of it.
I'll go fetch a bowl of water and see if we have anything that would be safe for him to eat. And then we can talk about what to do with him.
Aspen sits down on my bed, but I sit on the floor and the dog walks over to sniff me.
Seems he's already taken a liking to you.
His fur is stiff and coarse, and he's bony. He can't be that old, which makes me think he must have spent most of his short life as a stray. Juliet returns soon, setting the water and also a bowl with some banana slices, bread, and a slice of cheese.
It's not the healthiest meal, but it should keep his belly full for a little bit.
The dog digs in like he didn't just eat half the sandwich earlier. The bowl slides across the floor from the force of his munching, and he smacks his lips while he tries to chew the banana.
Is it okay if he stays here for a while? I'll take care of him. Even if it's just until we find his real owner, if he has one. I don't want to just kick him back out.
Look at his little face and his tongue.
It's so derpy, I love him.
Oh, it actually is literally like my pug, Cookie. Like she has, because she's nearly got no teeth, so her tongue just falls out now.
I'm
This is
sure.
just so funny.
Whatever it is, I'll do it.
I've only had this puppy around for a couple of hours, but I already know that I don't want anything bad to happen to them. Scrounging for food, stealing, not having anywhere to go back to. They're all things I can relate to.
I don't see why not then. I'll keep an eye out as well for anyone who may be searching for a lost dog like him.
Thanks. I don't think he has any people, though. I think he's all on his own.
You may be right. Still, we should do our best to make sure.
Right. I'll look out for any posters or missing signs.
After he finishes his meal, the dog flops down by me. He stares at me, but doesn't move. Instead, fighting to keep his eyes open. And as eaten more, he does seem totally exhausted.
He must be in doggy paradise right now after spending a few days in the park. I know I sure would be.
I look up at Juliet, smiling.
Yeah. I think he'll like staying here.
Okay, you can go from here.
When I wake up, the dog is already awake and staring at me from the floor, ready to go. The two of us go downstairs and join Juliet for breakfast, where she prepared another bowl of fruit and bread for the dog. Bold of you to assume that the dog can eat fruit.
True.
he eats it, but even if he's going to be here for a couple of days, he'll need more than people food. You shouldn't feed the people food in the first place.
I know it's, yeah, but go buy dog food.
Go buy dog food, or at least, give him like sausages or bacon at least.
Yes.
So,
it
meat.
shouldn't be difficult to find.
I check my wallet. I have plenty of money since Juliet pays me for the library. Any buy for myself. This will be good as use as any.
Do you mind watching him while I go?
Not at all.
Thanks.
I kneel down and pet the dog's head. I've already learned one of his favourite spots. Right at the base of his ears, and give him a good scratch.
Okay, stay here with Juliet, alright?
I really am turning into Aspen with how much I talk to the dog. Although he stays put for a moment, he follows me to the front door before I can leave. I gently push him back with my foot. No, puppy.
No, you can't come with me.
The dog paws at my leg, looking at me expectantly. Aww. Once more, I let him outside to relieve himself, but after he finishes that, he will go back into the library with me.
You're not gonna take no for an answer, are you?
Saya and I accept my fate. I let Juliet know about the change of plans, and the dog and I started walking. He stays near me, sometimes going off the path to sniff something, but he always returns. Each time he starts to walk away, I feel a tinge of worry that he will come back. But that possibility is just something that I have to accept. Even if some details of my past have gotten hazy for me, I can still clearly remember how it feels to need to run and escape. If the dog decides that's where he needs to go, then it's not my place to help him. Still, I'm relieved every time he stops sniffing and returns to my side. Eventually, we get to a town and we find a pet store. There's a sign on the window saying that dogs are allowed inside, which what I was hoping for. A bell rings when we walk in, although it doesn't sound as pretty as the one at the bell house. I wander around until I find the dog food section. There are more choices here than I thought. Big bags, small bags, red bags, blue bags. One fish, one bag, two bags, red bag, blue bag. I'm not sure which one to pick. The dog sniffs each of them in turn. I watch to see if one gets his interest more than the others, but he doesn't seem like he's picky. I try to find which one has the most similar looking dog on the front.
Guess I'll go with this one.
On the way to the front, the dog veers off down another aisle, and I follow behind to see what got his attention. Of course, it's a toy aisle. Just like in the food section, there are dozens on display. He sniffs them even more furiously than the kibble. Oh, there's a small basket of plastic toys on the ground, and he pulls one out with his mouth. It looks like a cartoon squirrel, and his tail squeaks when he bites it. Oh. He gives it a good shake, getting a few more squeaks in the process. His tail wags even faster than his head, and he looks up at me eagerly. Aww. I reach for the toy, and he hops away, and he crouches down, tail still going, daring me to try and take it again. I do, but he instantly jumps out of reach once more, shaking and squeaking the toy again too.
Okay, you can keep it. But come on, I gotta pay.
It's been a long time since I've stolen anything. Now I can actually pay for things. I can't see myself stealing again. I feel kind of guilty about things I took in the past, but I only ever did what I had to do in order to survive.
Think for the water, Doodle.
Okie dokies.
Hey, yeah, you take water too.
Oh, okay. I will. I'm gonna sippy sip. Ta-da! Okay. Once I had support from others in my life and the help I needed to get to my feet on the ground, stealing stopped being something I felt like I had to do. At the counter, I used 2 fingers to hold the slobbery toy so the cashier can scan it before returning it to the dog. I took the bag of food under one arm and we start walking home. We reach a crosswalk, arriving right as the light changes to send traffic across our path. I come to a halt while I wait, switching which arm I use to carry the sacks and seats getting sore. But the puppy doesn't stop with me. Instead, he doesn't even look back as he runs out into the road, eager to get back to the library. Shh! No!
Okay. I got concerned that we were just going to kill the dog.
No! Absolutely not, please.
Wait!
The
Wait!
car horn. No! No! The car horn blares as it barrels us down the road, too close to be able to brake in time. No. I feel that I'm moving in slow motion as I drop the bag of food and dashed out into the road, despite knowing how dumb that is. I grab the dog as I sprint by, barely hauling ourselves out of the way of the passing car. The driver understandably gives me a rude gesture as he goes by. The dog, meanwhile, looks at me as if I have offended by the road, with my hand still holding him tightly.
You dummy! You could have died right there!
The squirrel toy in his mouth squeaks as he squirms in my grass. That was way too close to comfort. If I'd been one step further away, I would have been too late to rescue the dog. I probably would have got myself hit for my trouble too. Behind us across the street, the bag of food lies on its side, some kibble strewn across the ground from the spot where it tore when I dropped it. Whether the dog wants to run away or stay with me is up to him, but I can't just let him get himself hurt or worse. I only have one choice. I hoist the dog up and hold him in one arm, like the dog food bag that I go back to retrieve before we start walking again. He doesn't squirm as much as he did yesterday, which helps a lot. But still, by the time we made it back to the library, both my arms feel like they... When I set the dog down, he strolls up to the library door as if nothing had happened. Of course. Waiting for... A long time ago, Juliet said sometimes the best is all you can do. That goes for puppies too. If I'd been born a city dog instead of a fox, I doubt I'd be much different either. Still, I have to admit it's a miracle that my dog makes it to adulthood, especially strays like him. Any dog. When it's finally time for my meeting, Juliet helps me get set up on her computer and then lets me take it to my room. I adjust the screen until I can see it properly, and then I wait. My nervousness keeps building as I nearly jump when the call finally comes through. As the ringtone plays, I take a deep breath and then accept. The tiny person-shaped bubble on the notification dissolves, and for a second there's just a black screen. Then a woman appears. When the image comes to focus, she's squinting at the screen, probably waiting just like me. Then she smiles and waves as she's able to see me.
Hello!
Hi, I'm Miho. Nice to meet you. Thanks for talking to me.
I'm Minsa. No problem. Gotta say, I was shocked when I got your friend's email at first. I thought it was gonna turn out to be some kind of scam, and eventually she'd ask for money. I'm still a bit
that's a move.
confused, though. So you were friends with my ancestor?
Yep.
Sort of. I met them when I was really young. I was just a regular fox back then.
Wait. A fox? Like with 4 legs and pointy ears?
Transforms in front of camera.
Yeah. After I met Jongin, I turned into the person I am today.
Whoa. So that was a long time ago, huh? But you look even younger than me. Oh, that's just not fair.
Trust me, it has its downsides.
Both of us laugh, and I can't help but be relieved that she already feels easy to.
That explains a lot, at least. So, Jongin. You're the second person to ask me about them this year, you know? That's 2 times more than most years.
Hello, Raiders.
Wow.
We are playing Please Be Happy with Heroynex. Let me give you a quick shout out. We're finding out the history of our favorite person. What were you doing? A Tithe and Blood. Oh, you were playing the other one I'm going to be playing next week. Yeah, Studio Lawn was like, we watched your playthrough of Please Be Happy. They really enjoy it. That we're reading it. And they were like, "Do you want to play Tithe and Blood?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I'll be playing that next week. But let's continue on with the story.
Who was the first?
These guys at some archaeological society who are putting on an exhibition. They wanted permission to display some of their old works.
Are you the only family they have?
The only one who can use a computer, at least. The only reason I know any of the history is because I had to. Should I tell you everything I know and then you can ask me any questions? No promises if I'll be able to answer them, though.
Sure, that works for me.
Let's see. Well, I'm not related to them by blood, for one thing. They didn't have any kids of their own. But they got married and they and their wife adopted several children. I'm related to one of those kids. They were part of the Young Bun class, a noble and a scholar. But rather than be stuck at home suffering through court life, they hid their identity and snuck away to travel the world instead.
Minseo speaks with a practiced tone, like she's given this speech a few times. Still, I listened with rapt attention, memorizing every detail.
They spent years on the go, seeing everything they could, before finally coming back home to Korea to settle down and start a family.
Audio a bit funky at the moment. It's which part? Heroynex's or the game audio? I'll have to raid and run. Okay, have a good time, Madi. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate you for everyone who came in. Grab a snack, take a seat, get comfy. Glad to have you all here and enjoy the comfy Yuri vibes.
While they were away, they kept a journal and wrote letters back to their beloved.
Your friend barely heard her. Oh, Heroynex is using a different mic setup this time around than their usual mic. So that's probably why it sounds different.
Whoopsie.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's all good. It's all good. I can't really do much about Heroynex's volume. I think I've blasted Heroynex's audio to max, so I can't do much about their audio.
Let's see what I can do on. There we go. I've turned up. I think I found like a dial on this doodah. Although he didn't really do much. Let me do my. Let's see. Voice and video. There we go. If I just turn up my output volume. There we go. Yeah, I've got that sky high as well.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
Although calligraphy was something they were taught from a young age, they began practicing as an artist during their travels. Sometimes, the letters they sent would include paintings of the things they'd seen, or they'd include little drawings in their journal. Something else that they started to do was give a note to the people they met on their journey, with a little message of appreciation or wishes. My husband always says they remind him of fortune cookies.
Oh, I actually have one of those scrolls myself.
I brought my scroll down from my room in case it came up like this. I unfurl it for the first time since Halloween. Please be happy. The title! I turn the scroll around and hold it up to the camera so Minseo can see. She leans in again, looking close.
Yeah, that's definitely theirs, all right. And they gave it to you when you were just a fox?
Yeah. Although, I couldn't read it until a couple months ago.
God, it's so hard to read their handwriting, right? I'm like, if they were born today, they totally would have been a doctor. I have a few of them myself, although they're up in the office. Grandma has like 90. She says she has one for every year she's been alive, and I definitely believe that.
Jeez, that's a lot. How many did they give out altogether?
Who knows? If someone told me it was thousands, I'd believe them. I don't know if they gave one to every person they met, but it must have been close.
Huh. I thought mine must be pretty rare.
It's still special. However many there were, but no. They're not some priceless artifacts that'll sell for a ton of money or something. Otherwise, I'd be talking to you from my mansion by the beach.
That's fine. I'd never sell mine anyway. It's way too important to me.
Yeah, I figured. I'm sure it wasn't easy to keep it safe and in such good condition.
That's for sure. We've been through a lot together.
That's good. I'm sure that's what they would have wanted.
For a while, Mencio tells me more about Youngin's adventures. Even though it's hard for me to picture some of the people and places involved, I still pay close attention. Then, all of a sudden, Mencio's eyes go wide, like she had some huge revelation.
Oh, I'm an idiot! Hold on, I'll be right back. I have to show you.
She gets up and runs off screen, leaving me with a view of an empty chair and the bookshelf. Instead, I look down at my scroll. Somehow, I'd always assume it was one of the kind, or at least something rare and meaningful. But somehow, finding out that this isn't the case doesn't really bother me. Instead, it's nice to think that they met so many people to be grateful or who left an impact on them. If there are thousands of scrolls like mine out there, then that's not a bad thing at all. After a few seconds, Mencia returns to the computer and sits down, carrying a scroll herself.
This is one that I had in the office. I can't believe I didn't think about this sooner. Sometimes they'd include a butterfly in their signature or hide one in their paintings because they said they were inspired by butterflies to travel with the wind. But then, at some point, instead of butterflies, they started to include something else instead. Can you see her?
She holds the scroll up to her camera like I did, focused on one of the bottom corners. There, just below where they sign the name, is a little picture of a fox. Ooh. Of me?
I should have thought of it when you mentioned foxes earlier. At one point, they started using the alias Horim for their work. I don't know if you speak any Korean, but Horim means fox forest. After they started using that name, foxes would show up in their art for the rest of their life.
The drawing consists of just a few brushstrokes that make a head and ears and face. Still, it feels like seeing a photograph of myself. I can picture them smiling as they drew it, as they thought of me. I'd always wondered if our time together was important to them as it was to me. Hearing that they chose that name practically confirms it.
Thanks for showing me.
I can feel the threat of tears, but somehow I managed to keep my composure.
No problem. Grandma's gonna freak out when I tell her I talked to you. I've told you basically all I know, but were there any questions you had?
Yeah, I did have one.
I take a deep breath. They were human, so my question is only natural, but still. Exhaling, I make myself ask.
How'd they die?
Mincio smiles.
Old and peacefully. Their wife outlived them, but not by too long. They had the typical funeral that was expected when they passed away, but then they actually had one final secret request to their family. They wanted to be cremated. Back then, it was basically unheard of, especially for someone of their stature. But they really wanted it to be done so that they could have their ashes scattered. That way, the wind could pick them up and they could keep traveling forever.
So then. It sounds like they were happy.
Oh, yeah. They told their kids that they had no regrets, because they'd live as full and rewarding a life as they could.
I'm afraid if I try to say too much, I'll start to cry. So I just nod instead while I find my voice.
I'm glad to know that.
Of course, of course. It's only right that you know, considering how many foxes showed up in their work.
I think Minzio can tell that I'm having a tough time holding it together because her voice takes on a more sympathetic tone.
Was there anything else you wanted to know?
I don't think so. You told me everything I wanted to ask. I only found out their name a couple months ago. Until then, I just thought of them as my person in my head. So, really, I've learned a lot more than I could have hoped for.
Aww. Well, I'm happy to help. Your friend has my contact info, so you can message me anytime if you think of anything else. I guess if you think about it, you and I are kind of like family, right? Since it
Aww.
sounds like they raised you just as much as they raised their kids, like my great, whatever.
Really?
Aww. She laughs. She laughs.
Sorry, it didn't
Sure, why
register
not?
my click.
The more the merrier, right?
Oh, bless you.
I think that's how they would have seen it too.
Thank you! I really appreciate it.
Family. I may have a girlfriend, but family is something new to me. Silver calls us sisters, but just barely. It makes my heart warm.
No problem. I'm sure we'll talk again, so I won't say goodbye. Instead, how about see you later?
I'd like that. Although.
What's that?
I explain my magic and how everyone forgets me day. Not as sympathetically, Minaso agrees to join my list of who checks in with me every day. I'm glad she's so understanding, but it's just another reminder that I need to find a better, more permanent solution for people forgetting me. The second the call ends, I let out the sob I was holding back. I thought I was done crying over Youngin, but apparently not. Except this time, it's a good kind of crying. After all my searching and even after the death, I finally got an answer to my question my heart wanted. They cared about me too. I tried to imagine what the home must have been like. Their wife and kids. I'm sure they're all smiles. Still, it's difficult for me to imagine how they look. Instead, I can picture them, traveling, just like when we met, going from place to place freely, wherever the wind took them. Just like me, really. Someday I'd like to return to some of those places that I've been before and see them properly, instead of just blindly searching for one person and ignoring. I like to visit them with some of the same wonder that Youngin felt. More than anything, I wish I could tell them about what I've experienced and learn on this path that sent me down. Even though I can't, there's just one thing I can say for sure. They would have been proud of me. A few minutes later, I'm still trying to pull myself together when the dog comes and paws at my legs insistently. I can't help but smile.
Okay, I think we call it there. I think that's a good like chapter stop. Let me
Okie
say boom. Right. Okay. Now I am curious where like what's our percentage?
Ooh, I needed
Okay.
that break.
63%. Not bad.
Back to it.
I don't know.
Okay.
Again, I'm concerned that it's like 63% overall or 63 just through the route. But we'll find out later.
Probably. I don't know.
But thank you again, Heroynex, for reading along with me. Always glad to have you here. Where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me on my Twitch, and you can find me on my Blue Sky.
Hell yeah. Let me give you a quick shout out. You're playing Arceus. Ooh, you changed off of BDSP?
Yeah, I've been doing Nuzlocke and Load. It ends this Sunday, but I wiped too far into the game, so
Mm-hmm.
I have no way of getting back up to where I had to be. So that was my one and only run.
Gotcha.
It was frustrating. Arceus is not a game to be Nuzlocke.
Oh no, I've played. Arceus is just such a long game to play too. So kudos to
Yeah.
you.
Mm.
Anytime we are going to raid. We're gonna say hello. Everyone's playing Deltarune because it just came out today, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Like I think it's supposed to come out tomorrow, but like Toby was like, "Nah, I'm releasing it today." So it's throwing everyone off.
Yeah. Bless.
We're gonna go raid Horichi. They are doing another visual novel, but they're playing a horror visual novel. They're playing Umineko.
Oh, okay.
So, raid Horichi. Hope you guys had a lovely time. Again, thank you for Onyx for joining us for the read along. I should be good for next Wednesday morning as well.
Oh, next Wednesday I'll be at the hairdressers in the in my afternoon.
Mm.
So it will be the Wednesday after.
Okay. The Wednesday after, I will actually be out of the state, so I guess we'll be back on the 25th.
The 25th is I pick my boyfriend up from the airport.
Then the second.
Yes, the 2nd of July.
Okay, let me write that in my calendar because that is a bit off.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Please be happy. July 2nd at 9 a.m. Okay. Well, then I guess it is pretty convenient that I'm going to be doing another Studio Alon read along for the time being while you're gone.
Yay.
All right. Well, thank you again for that. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Hope you guys have a good
Yeah,
time as
you
well.
too.
And
Have a good day.
I'll see ya. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Have a fun time with Horichi. Hope you guys have a good, lovely time with them. I'll be doing some Baldur's Gate 3 with the Cat Gang today at 2 p.m. CST. And until next time, y'all, have a good one. Bye.